This video is going to look at how to perform pivot table type functionality inside Workbench. So this is processes by which we're going to group data together and then perform some sort of calculation on those groups. So I've got a workflow started, and all I've done is import a data set and converted some columns to numbers that needed to be. So one technique that we're going to start using, and it's not a bad idea to always use it, but we'll definitely be using it here, is I'm going to keep my data in one tab. So this tab just imports my data and cleans it up and formats it. And then I'm going to start doing my analysis in other tabs, and I'm going to use this start from tab source so that I just pull in the data from my data tab. So now what I can do is add a step to group my data. I can group it by, let's see, we'll do sector first. So this is data on Pell Grants. So I have some really nice category columns like sector, public, or private. I also have this minority serving institution column that I'm going to put in there. And then for now, I'll just leave operations as count. So operations is what we're going to do to each of my groups. So this is just going to tell me how many universities are in each group, or how many rows are in each group. So when we run this, I can now see that this is telling me how many universities, and if I want to add a sort step, I can really easily tell sort by group size descending, that the most common type of university or institution in my data set are private nonprofits. This isn't the most interesting thing we could do with this data, so let's go back and look really quick at what we have to work with. So we might want to know which kind of institution has the highest average percentage of Pell recipients. So to do that, we're still going to be grouping by these same categories, but instead of grouping by or instead of counting the rows, what I'm going to do is calculate the mean of the percent Pell recipients column. And unfortunately, just like in Excel, Workbench currently doesn't let me take a median here, which is kind of unfortunate. So I can run this, and I could sort descending again and see that private, nonprofit, HBCUs have the highest average percentage of Pell recipients. If I want to calculate multiple things in this same table, I can add here. And let's see, maybe I want to look at the net price for low-income students. So that'll be another average. Okay, so I'm going to average the net price, and now I will have both of these calculated. And we could sort on this column and see that looks like private, nonprofits, non-minority serving is the highest. So the last thing that I'm going to look at really quick, because it's kind of tricky to do in Workbench. So in Excel, if I just wanted, say, the average of this column, I could go to the bottom and insert a formula. That's kind of not the way Workbench works. But if for some reason you just want to calculate, say, the average of a column, what I can do is delete my groups, and I'll delete my sort just for that. I can delete this, and let's say that I now want to look at the mean average cost, the average price. And if I run this, I now just get one number, and because I didn't group it, it worked on the entire data table here. So again, I might name this tab average net price, if that was something that I just wanted to keep track of for this data set. And then maybe I would have another column, and this is where I would start from tab, start from data, and now I could have my pivot table or my groups here and calculate something. So you can start to have a lot of tabs that tell you a lot of things about your data.